Hello there. I wanted to talk a bit more about the hell concept that I brought up yesterday. Now, it's entirely man-made, and there might not be one set building or one set place for these exhibits, but rest assured, there are places where certain things happen. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was just one area where all this bad stuff happened all at once, like a theme park, kind of, except it's a lot spookier. Because let's talk about the exhibits that are potential. The obvious one is the zombie experience. Uh, you might ask, well, how do you get zombies? Let's ignore the chemical and medical aspect of it, because I'm not exactly sure how far they go. I mean, like, there's things like meth, of course, that make you go nuts, but I'm more referring to conditioning of when they're early childhood. If you control the information, all the information they could possibly have, and have them in a controlled environment, you can make them anything you want. And in theory, you can make them as dumb as zombies, running around, tearing at people's flesh, and just, overall being brainless. That would for sure be one exhibit. Another one would be death by vicious animal attack. Now, you may go, well, how many animals are there out there that can kill? Well, they could dump a pit of scorpions on you for one thing. Great white sharks are pretty hard to keep in aquariums because they have a tendency to get stressed out and die. But there are other sharks that are can be quite as deadly and don't get as stressed out. So that's another one. Octopuses are also very dangerous. They can grow quite large. Anacondas. Now, I had heard anacondas don't get big enough to be able to eat humans, but the thing is, it's just simple biology. If you get the largest snake you can find and get it to breed with the next largest one you can find, their offspring will be bigger. And you keep doing this over generations. And of course, snake generations, they mature faster, they're able to breed faster, and you can, the sky's the limit of how big these things can get. And that would be an unpleasant way to die. Um, Giant spiders is another thing, although it's a lot harder to get them to get bigger because they're so small to start with. But with genetic modification, it's entirely possible to create a giant spider eventually. Not saying they have one now, but they're trying for it. They're going for it. Because what would be more scary than having a giant spider like the one in Lord of the Rings, where Frodo has to contend with it running around? Yeah. Um, so yeah, vicious animal attack. That's one. One I'll dub the slaughterhouse, where there's blades and spikes and other pieces of torture equipment from medieval times. Um, yeah, kind of like the butcher from Diablo 1, where he comes out and he's got this like haul of like bodies hanging up, and he's like, ah, fresh meat. Um, so there's that. Uh, Probably some sort of fire pit room where people get burnt alive or boiled alive, as the Chinese like to do to dogs and cats. And it's always been said if you can do it to animals, that going the next step and doing it to humans is entirely possible. So, I mean, they do it willy-nilly to animals. Um, uh, Kind of sick. So, my point being is, I do believe that in some underground passage, underground area, or in a giant cave system or whatever, there is some sort of government funded hell like scenario where you go through the different layers of hell and you see different things. And depending on your rank in society and your obligation and responsibility towards the hell zone conspiracy, you see more, you do more. I mean, this is a place you do not want to go to at all. And I wish it didn't exist, but the circumstantial evidence, uh, it's pretty much there. The government needs um, a weapon to terrify its citizens, but it doesn't want to tell us what it is. So they give out hints. Like I said, the comical theme parks, haunted houses that come out around Halloween. Those, in my opinion, are a caricature of a real place. Um, yeah, there are other ways to get it too. Um, there's the slow death of waiting in a prison cell for years and years and years. I guess I don't know what you'd have to do to deserve to get that. There's the mental health ward section of the Hell Zone as well, where you're injected with all these strange medicines that make you look and feel whatever, however they want you to. And there's definitely other biological agents they could use to create, I don't know, bumps and boils and things like that on your face and make you look like you're rotting away or whatever. Because I keep blaming China because I think they're the most likely to do it. And they do it to show how serious they are at dealing with the West. And we can't exactly stop them because they have nuclear weapons, they have a large army, and within their jurisdiction, there's almost nothing we can do. We can't send in spies to get in there because they know all about espionage and this and that. Now, yeah, these hell themed parks, they may not actually exist yet, but you guaranteed someone's put it on the drawing board and thought about this, some military official. So maybe there's mechanisms preventing this from actually being in existence right now, but the fact that they're actually thinking about it and that they've considered the possibility, and this is assuming there isn't actually out there. Like, I I believe there is one in China, to be honest with you. If you knew what their prison system was like, what their gang situation was like, and how brutal and vicious they can be, is it really that far-fetched that a caricature of a haunted house exists in some form or fashion? I don't think so. Well, there are other lots and lots of horrible ways to die, and the thing is, with all the knowing all these horrible ways to die, it could be pretty demoralizing for an enemy soldier to go into your country if they know if they catch you, they're gonna do this to you. Like that would be pretty terrifying. I mean, that would turn even the most hardcore of neo-Nazis a paler shade of white. So, me not being stupid, I'm gonna say my piece. I'm gonna be a little bit cheeky, but like I said in my last video, I am not going to Asia. I do not trust them. They are spooky. They're creepy. And I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying all of them. A lot of them are really nice people, actually. I quite like them. And I feel tremendously horrible that they're the bad ones are, they're evil to everybody, especially their own population, but especially to white people. They hate us. Think about it, man. The white Europeans invaded and conquered North America, a country with the most water, best soil for growing crops. It's not too hot here. It's not too, well, it gets pretty cold up here actually, which is an advantage as well as a disadvantage. Um, so yeah, they're pretty jealous of us, and they'll do anything and say anything to get their way. So think about it. Concept of hell, them manufacturing it for whatever reasons they have. I'm sure they would have a lot of them. And just have a free mind, have a free thinking, so that you can, you know, don't get caught off guard by anything. Anyway, if you like this video and you enjoyed watching it, so hit subscribe. See you later.